I and 99 other people accidentally got sucked into a broke-ass game. The winner here gets $1,000,000. But the rules are, you gotta survive for 7 days on just $50. What would you do to survive? See, as a professional broke dude, I spotted the loopholes the second I saw the rules. Real quick, the system's voice chimed in. Welcome, 100 players, to the broke-ass game. Starting cash, 50 smackers. Goal, survive the game for 7 days. The winner gets a cool $1,000,000. Get over budget, die, or leave the game area, and you're out. You'll owe $1,000,000. The voice paused. With a hint of slyness. Any cowards wanna quit now? Are you kidding me? I can last 7 days just drinking water. A little chubby guy in a cheap t-shirt chimed in. $50 for steamed buns. Gotta be stingy with the pickles. Totally. Take a gamble. Turn a bicycle into a motorcycle. Only a fool would quit with the crowd buzzing. That blind excitement's great. All 100 players haven't quit the game. The rules are officially in effect. Players can't quit. 100 players have been deployed. Welcome to airport mayhem. Good luck to everyone. With a flash of white light before my eyes, I found myself in a modern airport. Airport Avenue stretches as far as the eye can see. People are coming and going, bustling about. Can't tell who's a player and who's an NPC. My game account has 50 yuan in starting funds, and my interface shows 3 values: hunger, thirst, energy. They're all full right now. I see a convenience store across from me, so I walk over to check out the prices. When I get to the refrigerator, a cry of alarm explodes. Damn, $15 for a bottle of water? Highway robbery. I walked over. My eyes scanned the shelves. My heart sank. Little cakes, $5. Meiji buns, 40. $10 a pop. Even the cheapest bag of soda crackers was $18. $7 a day. Not even enough for half a bottle of water. The little fat guy looked at me, his face etched with despair. 66, we're screwed. This money's only enough for 3 bottles of water. People are gonna die in a week. I sighed. The system ain't running a charity. I knew it wouldn't be this easy. The other players also swarmed the convenience store. Horror and panic were written all over their faces. The little fat guy pulled me aside. He said, 66. I'm player 44. Us. Let's team up. Someone messes with you, I'm gonna kick their asses. Then, he did a series of takedowns. Looked like he was pretty nimble. Before I figure out the rules of this game, I don't want to team up with anyone. So, I politely declined, and left the convenience store alone. First thing, gotta find some free water. I found a water fountain outside the restroom, and found 2 discarded water bottles next to it. Cleaned them up, then filled them up with water. Water situation handled. Cost, $0. Next up, energy. I saw a coffee shop. Sugar packets on the condiment station. Creamer cups. And brown sugar packets, all lined up neat. Sugar is a super important source of energy. Sugar packets can come in handy in a pinch. To prevent low blood sugar, I walked over, poker-faced. Smoothly, naturally, like I was grabbing something at home. A dozen sugar packets and a few creamer containers slid into my pocket in a flash. The whole thing took less than 2 seconds. Then I strolled out of the coffee shop, cool as a cucumber. I walked to a secluded spot. I tore open 2 packets of sugar and dumped them straight into my mouth. The sickening sweetness exploded in my mouth immediately, bringing a fleeting sense of satisfaction. Sugar acquired. Cost, $0. The airport air conditioning was cranked up. It felt like an icebox. Maybe the system did it on purpose. The colder it got, the faster you burned energy. And my flimsy clothes couldn't keep out the cold at all. I could only keep warm by moving around. I found a blanket someone ditched after getting off a plane in the trash. As time passed, the hunger got worse. At 8 in the evening, I wandered over to a bakery. Unsold bread in the glass display case was giving off a tempting aroma. My stomach let out a loud rumble. I knew, from my keen, poor person instincts, that the bread should be discounted by now. The toast, originally $30, was now only $15. But it still wasn't fast enough. The discount might even be lowered during the sample sale. It could even be free. Every penny saved is a chance to survive. I sat on a chair across from the bakery, resting with my eyes half closed. Suddenly, 20 or 30 figures swarmed from all directions. They frantically rushed towards the bakery. The small bakery entrance instantly became a mob. In the chaos, I saw people waving cash. Some people just reached out and grabbed the bread on the shelves. The shop assistant frantically shouted, line up, line up. But it was no use. In just a few minutes, all the discounted bread on the shelves, including the toast I was eyeing, was gone. Those who bought the bread looked relieved, like they'd survived something. Those who didn't buy it were pounding their chests in frustration. Their eyes were filled with despair. The surroundings were filled with other players' curses, complaints and sighs of despair. My hunger level had already dropped to 70%. I took a deep breath, suppressing the cramps in my stomach. I looked away from the chaotic crowd. 152 I looked up at the high points of the airport. 153 the giant flight information display. 154 the red flight statuses kept scrolling. 155 time to show my true skills. 156 in this airport. 157 players can go anywhere. 158 even without a ticket. 159 you can go to the boarding gate. 160 I quickly scanned the big screen. 161 I zeroed in on a few delayed flights, marked in red and bold. 162 flights delayed over 6 hours were my targets. 163 so I dragged my weak legs towards a boarding gate. 164 a small group of people had already gathered there. 165 the air was thick with anxiety and sweat. 166 gate 102 was delayed 8 hours. 167 the stranded passengers surrounded the ground crew. 168 the ground crew was a young woman. 169 her face was flushed red. 170 the passenger's spit was practically spraying on her face. 171 is your airline useless? 172 my kid is starving. 173 don't you care about the kids? 174 don't you care? 175 we looked up at the high points of the airport. The huge flight information display. The red flight statuses kept scrolling. Time to show my real skills. In this airport, players can move around anywhere, even without a ticket. I could go to the gate. I quickly scanned the big screen. I pinpointed a few highlighted in bolded delay notifications. Delays over 6 hours were my targets. So I dragged my weak legs towards a gate. A small group of people had already gathered there. The air was thick with anxiety and sweat. Gate 102 had been delayed for 8 hours. The stranded passengers surrounded the ground crew. The ground crew was a young woman. Her face was flushed red. The passengers were practically spitting on her. Are you people at the airline even doing your jobs? My kid is starving. Are you gonna do anything about their kids? Are you gonna do anything? We demand compensation. Gimme my money, now. It's a chaotic scene. And the ground staff girl's voice was drowned out by the noise. She was close to tears, frantic. I suddenly realized this was an opportunity. I squeezed with all my might into the center of the crowd. I stood in front of the ground staff girl, quiet. I yelled at the top of my lungs. The crowd was startled by this sudden change. I pointed at the mother holding the crying child. I shouted to all the passengers. Look at how the kid's crying. Are we gonna get anywhere yelling and screaming? Is the plane gonna take off if we do that? The airline is in the wrong. They have to take responsibility. But what do we need most right now? Food. A place to rest. To conserve energy. Fighting them to the bitter end. I turned to the ground staff girl who was about to break down. My speech was rapid fire. Everyone was worked up. The most urgent thing is to calm the passengers. Meal vouchers. Hotel vouchers, give those out immediately. Let everyone eat and settle down first. Otherwise, it'll blow up. Can you handle it? I've been telling them. Meal vouchers and hotel vouchers, you can give them out. It's them who don't want them. Miss D. Cheen said with a wronged expression. Everyone line up according to their boarding passes to get them. At a time like this. Still following procedures? I cut him off. She pointed to the mom with the baby. Look how tired this mom is. She's been holding her baby for 8 hours. And she still has to line up for your meal voucher. I turned to that mom and said, Sis, give me your boarding pass. I'll help you. I reached out. With an undeniable air of authority. That mom was like she'd grabbed a lifeline. She immediately stuffed the boarding pass in my hand. With someone taking the lead. It worked like a charm. The other people, also with old folks, kids, or passengers who looked super wiped out, stuffed their boarding passes into my hands too. Suddenly, I had a dozen boarding passes clutched in my hand. I turned to the ground crew. I shoved the passes in front of him. I lowered my voice. Hurry up and take care of it. Fixing the most urgent things is better than getting on the news, right? Give me a couple extra meal vouchers. I'll calm them down for you. These parents with their kids. Everybody wins that way. The ground crew girl looked at me gratefully. She quickly worked on the machine. She soon pulled out a stack of meal vouchers. She counted out a few that matched the boarding passes I had. Then she quickly pulled out 2 more. She mixed them in and gave them to me. Her eyes were full of thanks. My heart was racing, but I kept a straight face. Ma'am, go eat with your baby. Here you go, sir. I quickly handed back the corresponding meal vouchers and boarding passes. I moved fast. Finally, I held the extra 2 meal vouchers and stuffed them into my most secure pocket. I shouted to the crowd. Everyone, go get your vouchers and eat to save your strength. We'll settle the score with them later. While everyone's attention shifted to getting their vouchers, I, like a slippery eel, slipped out of the crowd instantly. I disappeared into the bustling terminal corridor. If you want to survive in this game, you have to be better at finding loopholes than the average person. As soon as I left the waiting hall, I saw player 44 again, the little fat guy. he said with a simple smile. Number 66. I saw your skills. You negotiated like a boss in a movie just now. Are you really not considering an alliance with us? We might need to help each other later. In just one day, he had gathered 4 more players around him. I still turned down his invitation. I ate a good meal with the meal vouchers. Hunger's temporarily back to full. But the fatigue's hitting me like a tidal wave. My energy's already below 50%. It's 11 p.m. The airport's noticeably less crowded. Most of the shops are closing up. The lights are dimming too. An indescribable creepy vibe's starting to spread. The terminal chairs all have armrests. Can't lie down flat. One young player probably just couldn't take it anymore. He's huddled on the floor trying to sleep, wrapped in a thin jacket. Not even 2 minutes go by. A spotlight hits him right in the face. No lying down allowed here. The security guard's voice is totally emotionless. The young player ignores the NPC. Turns over and keeps sleeping. Suddenly, they rush out of a corner. A bunch of security guards, no questions asked. They pick him up forcibly. And throw him outside the airport doors. The game's public announcement blares. Player 13 eliminated for leaving the game area. Debt, 1 million. And then, players from different areas are eliminated the same way. The system is forcing us to use exhaustion and cold to drain the last bit of reason from the players. At this point, my energy level was already seriously insufficient. To prevent being eliminated, I put the tattered blanket over myself and fell asleep sitting on the waiting hall chair. The rising sun the next day told us that the game had only just begun, just one day. My energy level barely climbed back to 75%. But my hunger level had fallen to 50% again. I still had a meal ticket on me. I wasn't too worried. I took a sip of cold water. Ate 2 packets of sugar. Continued hunting in the departure hall. A player suddenly rushed over and snatched a hot dog from a child. Then the child started crying loudly. The security guards came running and surrounded the player. They took him away in a police car outside the airport. And at this moment, the system broadcast sounded again. Player 25 stole food from an NPC. Got tossed out of the airport by security, eliminated. $1 million in debt. I figured out something. In this airport, you can't do anything that alerts security. But today, the airport's weird. Not a single delayed flight. I'm guessing the system patched up the loophole I found. That day, I wandered around the lobby like a normal traveler. Popped up at every place with free samples. Of course, I just ate, didn't buy anything. While sampling, I watched the staff's faces. When they realized I was just eating and not buying, I'd run away fast. Scraped by like that. Came dinner time. I used the remaining meal vouchers to eat. Filled up my hunger meter again. This time, I didn't crash on a seat. I ducked into a dim side passage. It led to the end, where I found my golden treasure from earlier that day. An abandoned equipment room with the door ajar. It was filled with junk, but when the doors closed, it's my own little world. As soon as I entered the equipment room, I hadn't even gotten the door properly shut when there was a loud bang. Someone kicked open the equipment room door. It was a tall guy with slanted eyes. He had 2 young punks with him. "This place is ours," the tall guy yelled at me. I kinda recognized this tall guy. He was the one who was the most aggressive at the bakery yesterday. He even snatched bread from 2 other players. Knowing I couldn't mess with them, I decided to give up this prime spot. Just as I walked to the equipment room door, the tall guy suddenly pulled out a knife and threatened, "Hand over the rest of your money and food, or I'll gut you." The madness and cruelty in their eyes told me they'd definitely do it. My brain was racing. I had no chance of winning a fight. Hand over the money? That's the same as being eliminated. What about the -1 million debt? What do I do? I swallowed hard and said, "Hey man, let's talk this out. Robbing people will get you kicked out by the system." "No duh, hurry up. I ain't got all day." He jammed the switchblade another inch into my neck. I give up. I immediately transferred the $50 in my account to him. Only by surviving in this game can I possibly make that million? The tall guy took the money and shoved me out. They shut the door. I heard smug voices coming from inside. Straight up robbery. Worked like a charm. Thanks to, he told us, that stealing money wouldn't get you eliminated. Now we don't have to worry about running out of cash. Who's this he they're talking about? You can't rob NPCs. But robbing other players, even killing them, is okay? He knows the game rules inside and out. It's only the second day. And I've already lost my last $50. No money, no food. Am I just gonna die here? Soon enough, the game gets fair. Someone anonymously shouts again. Head to the bakery in L3, Section A. Bread's half price here. The equipment room door opens. The tall guy walks out with his sidekick. I scramble to hide off to the side. Tail them. Head to the convenience store. Those 3 spend all the money they snatched to buy soda crackers. As the payment goes through, the game system announces on the broadcast, Player 5. Player 49. Player 61 is eliminated due to overspending. Owing -1 million in debt. The tall guy wails. Before he finishes speaking, he vanishes into thin air like a beam of light. The other two young punks disappear too. And dozens of bags of soda crackers? And 4 or 5 bags of bread fall to the ground. I rush over immediately, take off my jacket, and tightly wrap up the crackers and bread. I knew it. The system said it from the start. Going over budget means you're out. But everyone only has $50 in their account. How could you possibly go over budget? There's only one possibility, stealing from other players. And using more than $50 counts as overspending. But the tall guy stole bread from someone in the bakery. And he wasn't eliminated. That means taking other people's food isn't against the rules. I figured. Over the next few days, more people will figure out the rules. There'll be fights breaking out over food. So I've gotta hide this food I have. With this food, I'll definitely make it to the end of the game. So I found 5 spots I thought were safe. And hid the crackers, spreading them out. Unlock 1 spot each day. And I can survive the next 5 days. After I did all that, I was completely drained of energy. Soon, I was asleep again, sitting on a chair in the waiting area. It's day 3 of the game. A gut-wrenching cough exploded nearby. Instantly drew the attention of everyone around. For 52 it was player 47. For 53 that girl who looked really frail. For 54 she was curled up on a cold, metal bench. For 55 her body was trembling violently. For 56 her face was flushed red. For 57 even a little purple. For 58 her boyfriend, who was also a player, gave a look of disgust. For 59 what's wrong with you? For 60 you got a fever? For 61 don't tell me you won't last until day 7. For 62 player 47's voice was hoarse and weak. For 63 with a heavy nasal tone. For 64 I just suddenly felt so cold. 465 I feel so awful. For 66 I yawn. For 67 could you hold me, please? No way. For 68 what if you infect me? For 69 suddenly, a sharp alarm sounded. For 70 without warning, it went off throughout the whole terminal. For 71 a heavy and orderly sound of footsteps. For 72 came from the distant passageway. For 73 the epidemic prevention personnel wearing white protective suits. For 74 easily picked up player 47. 475, it's player 47. That really skinny girl. She was huddled on the cold metal bench. Her body was shaking violently. Her face was flushed. Even a little purple. Her boyfriend, also a player, gave her a look of disgust. What's wrong with you? You got a fever? Don't you dare not make it to day 7. Player 47, a girl, her voice was hoarse and weak. With a heavy nasal tone. It's suddenly so cold. I feel awful. Ah Yon. Can you give me a hug? No way. What if you get me sick? Suddenly, a sharp alarm. It went off without warning throughout the entire terminal. A heavy, rhythmic sound of footsteps. It came from the distant corridor. In white protective suits. They easily hoist up player 47. Let me go. I don't want to get eliminated. Hey, help me, help me. But Ah Young didn't even look. He turned and ran. The pandemic control staff ignored player 47's cries. They pushed the stretcher away, disappearing quickly in the horrified gazes of the many players. At the end of the passageway. Seconds later, the system broadcast announced. Player 47 seriously endangered public health and safety. They have been forcibly removed from the game area for quarantine. Eliminated, owing 1 million yuan. Player 87 seriously endangered public health and safety. They have been forcibly removed from the game area for quarantine. Eliminated, owing 1 million yuan. The players looked at each other. Their eyes filled with suspicion. Player 87. Yesterday, they ate food from the trash. Today, they have terrible diarrhea. Catching a cold is no good. Diarrhea is no good either. I got food in the team by using water. Who's gonna be next? The coughing sound nearby. Even just clearing their throat. It's enough to make your heart skip a beat. I also learned another game rule. You can't get sick. Even a small cold or diarrhea will get you removed from the game area. I got through the day by eating the bread and biscuits I found. The airport got even colder today. It's like a freezer in here. I found one in the trash. A thermal metal blanket, the kind hikers use. Wrapped in it. It finally kept me warm. Time came to day 4. More and more people were being eliminated. Woke up in the morning. I decided to go get today's bread and biscuits. I precisely avoided the crowd. Walking towards the first hiding spot. It was behind a secluded bathroom. A huge green plant flower pot. The gap between the bottom and the wall. I walked up close. I squatted down. Reached out my hand and felt toward that familiar crevice. Empty, there was nothing inside. My heart sank. I desperately searched again. I didn't even find any pieces of the cracker wrappers. I couldn't worry about it much. I ran towards the next spot. Nothing, still nothing. All the cracker stashes had been cleaned out by someone. Dozens of bags. The life-saving soda crackers and bread. Vanished overnight without a trace. The situation, which I was sure to win, was completely turned upside down. To find all the locations precisely overnight. And to clear them out silently. This is definitely not something an average player could do. Who's been watching me? My mood plummeted. I shamelessly went to look for free samples again. But more and more players were grabbing the samples. The vendors were already wary. They hid all the sample food. Even the condiment counter at the coffee shop was empty. The sugar packets were all taken away by the servers. And the trash cans became a battleground. There were still many players risking diarrhea. Searching for food in the trash. When I went to look, didn't even see any food scraps. And just like that, it was 10 p.m. All my stats are flashing red. I head towards a row of luxury stores in the airport. The other players are whispering. That guy's probably gonna get eliminated. What's he gonna do at the luxury stores? And not far from the luxury stores, by the trash cans, I found a few discarded bags and boxes. A lot of travelers, to avoid taxes, choose to throw away the boxes at the airport before they leave. I carefully stuff the boxes into the best-looking bag, and carry it in my hand. While scouting before going down to the departure hall on the first floor, I found out there was actually a hot pot restaurant open. So I'm gonna mooch a free place to rest now. And also mooch some free food. I push open the heavy glass door. The warmth and the scent of the beef tallow broth hits me in the face. A waitress with a sweet smile runs over to greet me. Welcome. How many, sir? 2. I casually put the conspicuous luxury bag I'm carrying on the chair beside me. My voice has a hint of rasp that's hard to notice. Find me a quieter spot. Both waitresses eyed the bags in my hands. Their smiles broadened. Right this way. Someone who can buy so many luxury goods definitely isn't a mooching poor guy. He led me to a semi-enclosed booth with a cushioned sofa. Extremely private. As soon as I sat down, I immediately pulled out my phone. My fingers flew across the screen. I dialed a number that didn't exist. The instant the call connected, my voice, laced with sobs, erupted in the slightly quiet area. I'm waiting for you at the airport hot pot place. I bought a ticket to Paris for 3 a.m. If you don't come, you'll never see me again in your life. I slammed my phone down on the table. My eyes immediately filled with tears. The waitress quickly brought over a bowl of steaming white fungus soup and a small plate of fruit. Her voice was so gentle, you could wring it out. Sir, calm down. Have something to drink to soothe your throat first. Did your girlfriend piss you off? My voice sounds all stuffed up. Thanks. Thinking about him with that other girl. I can't eat. The waiter put the bird's nest soup in front of me. The more I hurt, the more I gotta eat. If I don't eat enough, how am I gonna have the energy? When he's begging for her back? I nodded. Took the bowl of soup. And sipped it. The warm, sweet liquid went down my dry throat. Hunger's screaming. But I gotta hold it together. Soon the waiter brought another bowl of free steamed eggs. I got up, spaced out. Went to the condiment station and scooped 3 big spoonfuls of beef bits. Dumped them in the egg bowl quick. I sat back down. Fighting the urge to just scarf it down. Eating it slow, like I'm classy, you know? While I'm side-eyeing the waiter and the manager. The server acted like they had radar at this point. Sir, you look like you're in a bad mood. How about you try our new tomato soup? It's sweet and sour. Very appetizing. And so, a bowl of tempting tomato soup was placed in front of me again. Let me get you some snacks too. A plate of free French fries followed. The server approached again. Their eyes were full of gossip and pity. They were clearly more anxious than I was. Alarm bells went off in my head. They were asking too many questions. I immediately switched my state. Tears filled my eyes again. My voice trembled with despair. Is he really not going to want me anymore? Actually, I wasn't planning on leaving. I lowered my head appropriately. My shoulders began to shake violently. Oh, don't cry, don't cry. The server panicked. They immediately brought over a huge stuffed teddy bear. And stuffed it into my arms. Let her stay with you. You're so handsome. He's gonna regret it, for sure. Meanwhile, I'm hugging my fluffy bear. My energy's running low. I gotta rest. I secretly set a vibrating alarm for 2 a.m. Then, exhausted, I curled up on the soft couch with my bear. I closed my eyes. Before my consciousness faded, I prayed I wouldn't get kicked out. I don't know how long I slept. A waiter suddenly woke me up. Sir? Isn't your flight about to depart? My phone started buzzing like crazy at that moment. It was the alarm I set. In a flash, I grabbed my phone. Without even looking at the caller ID, I yelled into the phone the lines I had prepared. I've been waiting for you at the hot pot restaurant for 4 hours. You still won't come? Is that guy really that important? I'm leaving. I'm really leaving. Could you just come and see me, please? Hang up the phone. I bury myself in the teddy bear's arms. To others, It looks like I'm crying secretly. The supervisor stopped walking. He shook his head. The waitress kindly brought me a blanket. I slept all night on the big sofa. The next morning, early, as I was getting ready to leave, the server even brought over some free stuff like soy milk, rice porridge, and tea eggs. Their eyes were full of encouragement. Hang in there, mister. Leave the trash. You'll find someone better. Congrats on your new life. Because I hadn't spent any money. No paying, obviously. I whispered my thanks. I turned and walked out the glass doors. My energy was completely restored. My hunger was also full. That method's pretty low. And I can only use it once. But I already played that card. I just walked out of the hot pot place. And I ran into those scumbags. His crew had already grown to over 20 people. They were handing out biscuits. Seeing the biscuit packaging, my mind just went boom. Those were my missing biscuits. I intentionally tore off a corner of each bag. I marked them. I walked over there, furious. I don't want any. Did you steal my biscuits? Hey, don't be mad. I told you before. I wanted you to join my team. You wouldn't listen. Give the biscuits back. Look at my teammates. Do they want to give them back? Poof. The scumbag pointed to the 20+ pairs of eyes behind him, which were filled with greed. I took a biscuit he offered. I took a step back. And said, can I still join you guys now? Too late, number 66. Wuchi smiled faintly. He looked kind of goofy. This game, right from the start, ain't for lone wolves. You gotta team up and snatch other players' stuff. That's the only way to survive. You got no cash, no goods. You're completely useless. So you're gonna get knocked out. Anything you wanna say now? The system suddenly chimed in then. Players, welcome to day 5. To spice things up, starting today, the water coolers in the whole airport are shut off. The water in the bathrooms is contaminated. Don't drink it. The players couldn't help but start cussing on the public chat. Spice things up? Screw you. No water? 3 days left. They're gonna kill us. Wuchi's team started getting antsy too. Fear trumped the brief happiness of getting food. Water's more crucial than food, it's the real deal. Wuchi wasn't sweating it though. He waved his hand to calm the commotion. His voice remained steady. What's the panic? It's just water. He gave me a sideways glance. And continued speaking to the players. Other players have water. Just take it. My heart sank. But it was too late to escape. Over 20 pairs of bloodshot eyes instantly locked onto me, the crowd. Pounced like hyenas smelling blood. Let go. It's mine. I desperately clutched my backpack. But I was outnumbered. The backpack straps were violently torn. The zipper was ripped open. 2 heavy bottles of mineral water were brutally snatched away. The few remaining packets of sugar scattered on the ground. They were instantly snatched up. I was shoved and fell to the ground. Shamelessly, he said coldly. It's merciful enough that we didn't take your life. Get lost. I jumped up and ran. Not to hide, but to snag some water. I gotta grab that water. I gotta get there before anyone else realizes what's up. Gotta get to that spot. The liquid disposal area. Airport security rules. You can't carry liquids in containers bigger than 100 milliliters. At the security checkpoint, people just toss their water bottles, drinks, juice, right there, into those giant trash cans or collection bins. Right now, the terminal. 3, like, half-human tall, see-through plastic things are lined up at the domestic departure security check. They're huge. They're crammed with half-drunk and even unopened water bottles. And there's 2 NPC security guards standing nearby in uniforms. Digging through the trash is a no-go. That ain't gonna happen. It'll set off alarms. Can't wait any longer. This chance'll vanish in a heartbeat. My face went into frantic mode. I speed-walked towards the security checkpoint. I'm aiming straight for those air vents. Excuse me, can you hear me? My voice is hoarse. I'm practically sobbing. I push my way through the crowd waiting in line. I successfully get the attention of the security guard. Hey, you there, get in line. A security guard blocks my path, frowning. Sorry, man. I speak super fast. I'm genuinely freaked out. I point at the air vent and say, I think my ring fell over there. It's an heirloom from my grandma. Please, let me go look for it. Just for a sec. Please, I beg you. As I'm talking, tears start rolling down my face. I look really sincere. The security guard hesitates for a moment. He shifts to the side a little. Hurry up. Don't hold up the security check for everyone else. Thanks, man. I'm super grateful. Immediately dove for the trash. So as not to bother anyone, I moved the trash bags to the side and started digging. Then I quietly took out 3 big bags of trash from the bin. And quickly retreated to a place where the attendants couldn't see me. Holy smokes. This much water can definitely get me through 3 days. I quickly cleaned out a bag and put the unopened water into it. I quickly walked away from the security check area. My heart was pounding like it was about to explode. I didn't dare to stay. I dove headfirst into a relatively secluded disabled restroom nearby. And locked the door. Absolutely cannot let the other players know. I have so much water all to myself. I stepped on the toilet. And lifted the ceiling panel of the restroom, hiding some of the water in the ceiling. Then I came out of the restroom. And hid the remaining water. I went towards international departures again. Ran towards the security checkpoint. Repeating the same trick. I got a lot more water again. Still stashing it. It ain't 'cause I'm greedy. It's 'cause I got a bigger plan. Right now, it's the 5th day. There's 67 players left. The scum team's got 25 players. They're like locusts. They're grabbing water and food off any player they can. They won't even let a single cookie pass. If you dare fight back, they'll kick and beat the players. And the NPCs just turn a blind eye to the players getting roughed up. No security guards step in to stop it. Suddenly, there's a crack. A player faints on the floor cause of low blood sugar. Then they just stop moving, real quick. It's over just like that. The other players are asking what happened, looking all freaked out. The whitecoats show up with a stretcher. They get the player on the stretcher fast. Cover him up with a white sheet. Everything happens too fast to blink. Soon as that's done, the system starts broadcasting again. Player 93's energy is at 0. Eliminated, owing $1 million. There were a ton of players eliminated on the loudspeaker today. The numbers are dropping like crazy. I need to find a good group to team up with. Build a squad that can take on these lowlifes. The faces I've been watching the last few days flashed through my mind. A few figures locked into place. There was a 6-person crew. The leader was player 48, who looked really sharp. The other members were all different. All were guys, built like tanks. I found them in the main hall. I watched them for a bit. I could tell they weren't doing great. One of the guy's lips were already starting to crack. Another guy kept licking his lips. They were obviously out of water. This was my chance. I walked over to them, holding my bag of luxury goods. Hey guys. My name is Li Chuan. Player 66. I want to join your team. Player 48 stood up. He looked at me with suspicion. Get lost. We're not taking anyone. I passed the bag over. There were 3 bottles of water inside. Everyone's eyes lit up. I said frankly, I have a safe water source. It can guarantee the team's basic drinking water. In exchange, I want to join you guys and share the food. How much water do you have? Make it last. It's no problem supporting us 7 people through the remaining 3 days. The clever player number 33 interjected. His eyes were probing. I flatly refused. You just need to know that I have a way to get water. And I'm willing to share it with the team, that's enough. The water's storage location. Only I know, this is my trump card. Player number 48 looked back and quickly exchanged glances with his teammates. Alright, Li Chuan. Welcome to join. I'm Lu Mo. Join our team. The rules say you absolutely cannot betray your teammates. 927 player 48 finally made a decision. 928 they reached out to me. 929 I nodded. 930 happy to cooperate. 931 the dawn of the 6th day didn't bring hope. 932 it brought even deeper despair. 933 I went to the security checkpoint alone. 934 hoping to get some more water. 935 but I saw 5 security guards standing there. 936 staring intently at the trash cans. 937 looks like the system blocked off that option again. 938 the last reliable water source was cut off. 939 players who endured a whole day of thirst yesterday. 940 couldn't resist drinking the bathroom water. 941 a virus took them down. 942 they were eliminated from the game. 943 just then, 944 the airport broadcast started playing, without any warning. 945 to speed up the elimination process. 946 and to make the final showdown more entertaining. 947 the survival elimination mechanism is now activated. 948 today's hunger level. 949 thirst level. 950 player 48 finally made a decision. He reached out his hand to me. I nodded. Happy to work together. The dawn of the 6th day didn't bring hope, but deeper despair. I went alone to the security checkpoint, hoping to get some more water. But I saw 5 security guards standing there, staring fixedly at the trash cans. Looks like the system blocked that route again. The last stable water source was cut off. Players who endured a whole day of thirst yesterday couldn't help but drink the water from the restrooms. The virus knocked them down. 942 they got eliminated. 943 just then, 944 the airport speakers blared out of nowhere. 945 to speed up eliminations, 946 and make the final showdown more entertaining. 947 the survival elimination mechanism is now activated. 948 today's hunger level, 949 thirst level, 950 and energy level. They're out. Just then, the airport speakers just blared out of nowhere. To speed up the elimination process. To make the final showdown more exciting. We're starting a survival elimination system now. Today's hunger level. Thirst level. Stamina points. The bottom 20 players will be eliminated at 12 a.m. Please note that 3 emergency supply boxes will randomly spawn in Terminal 3. They contain a sufficient amount of food, water, and a small amount of medicine. Once the supply boxes appear, a fair broadcast across the entire map will be instantly flooded with despair and curses. This damn system just wants us all to be in debt. They've got everyone fooled. First, they shut off the water supply. And now they're making players kill each other. Too cunning. Everyone, calm down. Going to T3 is suicide. Panic quickly began to spread through the group. Wu Chi's team has the most people. They're the most likely to get the emergency supply boxes. There are only 45 people left. Wu Chi controls 25 spots. This means that the remaining 20 people, unless their stats miraculously skyrocket, are facing the end of the world with mass elimination at midnight. We definitely can't let those shameless people get the emergency supply boxes. Lu Mo's gaze fell on me. Eric, tell me how a poor slob turns things around in a dead-end situation like this. A broke person's way of survival is never a head-on confrontation. It's about exploiting loopholes, finding flaws, and creating chaos. It's about snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. The first emergency supply box has spawned. Employee Lounge, Level B, Terminal 3. Sure enough, with footsteps echoing in the distance, Wu Chi's team was marching towards Terminal 3 in a huge group. Lu Mo was about to lead his team. Don't let them get there first. Wait. I grabbed him. The location is the Employee Lounge. Do you know what that place means? I paused. The first emergency box is definitely a trap. It'll eliminate whoever gets there first. The system's down. Free water dispenser. They're stationing security guards at the trash cans. They're constantly reinforcing the NPC rules. They can't be disobeyed. This railway employee area is a restricted zone. Ordinary players just can't get in. If they try to force their way in, the system will definitely flag it as illegal entry. Instant elimination. Would Wu Chi send people to force their way in? I don't think he will. I had Aja and Xiaomin go scout things out. They sent back intel. Wu Chi, as expected, didn't have his teammates go into the restricted area. Instead, he split them up to guard the routes to the employee break room. His strategy is to blockade, preventing others from getting it. But he's not touching that hot potato either. As long as other players can't get supplies, his team still has the advantage. The few lone players hanging around the edges, their eyes are desperate and crazy. Their stats are definitely at the bottom. They'll definitely be eliminated tonight. These guys are the easiest to figure out. I hid behind a pillar, whispering to my teammate about the access card for the employee break room. It's in the fire safety cabinet right next to it. No way, really? The system deliberately put it there quietly. Wu Chi's people are guarding the door now. We'll wait for the right moment to grab the access card. The lone player standing in front of the pillar just happened to hear him. He instantly went into overdrive and lunged for the fire cabinet. Stop him. Wu Chi gave the order. But it was already too late. The player yanked open the glass door of the fire cabinet. There wasn't any access card in there at all. He triggered the alarm. The ear-splitting fire alarm immediately blared throughout both levels B. Almost simultaneously, 6 fully armed security guards holding riot control forks appeared like they'd been sent from the heavens. The situation immediately devolved into chaos. The security guards didn't care who it was. Who opened the fire cabinet? Wu Chi's crew of scumbags. Along with the player who opened the fire cabinet, they all got jabbed with the riot control forks and kicked out. Wu Chi instantly lost 5 people. The team was down to 20 people. They didn't get the supply crate. They came up empty-handed. At this moment, the second supply crate unlocked. The second emergency supply crate has refreshed. At the entrance of the VIP lounge on the L3 floor of Terminal 3, there are usually dedicated receptionists and service staff at the entrance to the VIP lounge. The environment is more high-class. And security's tighter too. We watched from a distance. The elevator to the L3 VIP area was being guarded by those scumbags. And on the coffee table in the VIP lounge lobby, that silver supply box was really eye-catching. What do we do? It's gonna be hard to even get close this time. Little Fatty said anxiously. I handed my phone to Little Fatty. Take this to the Lost and Found, I said. Why would you want me to take your stuff to the Lost and Found? Little Fatty asked, surprised. Just do it, I urged him. Hurry up. Little Fatty took my phone to the Lost and Found. Half an hour later, I went to the Lost and Found. I pretended to be anxious and asked. I lost a phone and a VIP lounge card. While I was wandering around the airport, I'd also staked out the VIP lounge, hoping to find something to eat. I watched the passengers going in. They all swiped a black VIP card to get in. The huge airport. I don't believe anyone hasn't lost their VIP card before. I described my phone and VIP card to the staff. The staff actually found my phone and a VIP card. Are these it? Yeah. That's them. I excitedly took the phone and card. Thank you, wait. You need to provide proof. Xiao Wu was distracting the staff nearby. I took the opportunity to unlock the phone with my face. And secretly took a picture of the card. After doing all this, I showed the staff. My face can unlock the phone's VIP card. I happened to have taken a photo. After the staff verified it, they let me go. I walked to the VIP reception area. There happened to be a group of passengers going to the VIP room. There was a special electric cart to take them to the door. I took the opportunity to climb onto the cart, sitting among the passengers. Avoiding the shameless spies. Just straight up sat down right in front of the VIP lounge. The security guard took the card. Swiped it through the machine. The green light lit up. Welcome. Platinum members, please enter. The door opened. Wu Qi, who had been watching the VIP lounge the whole time, suddenly shouted loudly. He definitely stole that card. I cursed silently in my heart. This fat guy is too sneaky. Lu Mo and our people got into a fight with Wu Qi's people at the elevator entrance. 6 people against 10 isn't too bad. Taking advantage of the chaos, I quickly slipped into the glass door. Got the supply box. The system's voice was like a gift from heaven. Congratulations to player 66 for obtaining a supply box. The items in the supply box can only be used by the player designated by player 66. Those who steal it illegally can't use it. The third emergency supply box has been refreshed. At the top of the central information desk in Terminal 3, it's an open, unobstructed platform. There are no restricted areas or traps. No VIP rules holding him back. It's just pure strength and speed now. Shameless, he just ditched the fight and told his guys to move fast to the information desk. There's no one guarding the VIP room door anymore. I walked out carrying the box. I opened it, and it was full of supplies. Enough food and drink for 7 of us for a day. If we can just fill up 3 stats. They can't eliminate us tonight, and this is all thanks to you. The other players are rushing towards the third box. We're here, just loading up on energy like crazy. For the last box, Shameless ripped off the mask completely. He showed the most blatant violence. The remaining players are going head-to-head with Shameless' crew. They're all bloody. In the end, Shameless guys had the numbers. The 7 of us were watching from a distance. Luo Mo said 1 box isn't enough. And it was too hard to get the first box of supplies for Shameless' crew. I figure his team probably picked the system this round. The cold countdown is ticking away silently. 11:50 p.m. The atmosphere in the terminal is super tense. The system's about to start the calculations. Based on hunger levels, thirst levels, energy levels, the bottom 20 players with the lowest stats will be eliminated. A cold, electronic voice recited the numbers without any emotion. Excluding the 7 of us. All the other solo players were eliminated. Even the people in the no-team group. Because of unequal distribution of supplies from a box. Only 13 people were left in the end. As soon as the announcement ended, the whole airport fell into a deathly silence. 20 people, 1 million each. That means a total prize pool of 20 million. And if all players are eliminated, the final winner will get 20 million plus 100 million. A total of 120 million. This number is enough to drive anyone crazy. No team looked at us from afar. With a bloodthirsty glint in their eyes. He licked his lips. And said to his teammates. Always wanting everyone to hurt each other. But our team has the advantage in numbers. We take out 7 players on the other side. Then 13 people split 120 million in prize money. That's the safest way. Our side, Lumo's eyes are extremely heavy. Everyone, hold steady. Don't trust the system. When the Shameless teams are sure to unite. Kill us all first. So we can't kill each other. We 7 people. Take them out. The 13 of us then split the 120 million prize money. This is the best option right now. Fatty Ding is sprawled on the ground. How can we kill them when we have fewer people? Now we're just lambs to the slaughter. Let's find a place to hide first. And split them up. I suggest. I know a place. At 12 midnight. A blood-red 24-hour countdown timer appeared on the screen. The entire airport's lights instantly turned a piercing crimson. It's flashing madly, with a shrill alarm. It's going off, but not from any loudspeaker. Instead, it's directly blasting into our minds. The NPC passengers, who were bustling around just a second ago. And the staff. The security vanished in an instant. The enormous T3 terminal. Only the instinct to survive remained for us 20 players. Overwhelmed the fear. We 7 took off running. The instant we entered the elevator. I frantically mashed the door close button. The elevator doors slammed shut, right in front of Wu Qi's grimacing face. Don't let them get away. Eliminate them. The money's ours. The elevator plunged downwards, bringing us to the underground garage. The humid air, mixed with gasoline and dust, hit us in the face. We immediately scattered. Like startled mice. Each of us searching for cover. Almost immediately after we'd hidden ourselves, Wu Qi and his people charged into the garage from the emergency stairwell. 20 players were hiding in the massive parking lot. As long as I can drag this out, I still have a chance of survival. I held my breath, like a cold stone, pressed close to the ground, looking out through the narrow gap under the car. Player number 9 got killed. $1 million got transferred to the killer's account. Who the hell did it? Get him. Was it one of us? Then, sounds of fighting again. And the little fat guy's pitiful screams. Soon after, news of the little fat guy being eliminated. Players are scattered in the garage. Screams every now and then. The announcements are constantly reporting player eliminations. Number 21 was eliminated by one of their own. Things got even more chaotic. Suspicion is everywhere among the players. Trust is crumbling. The anonymous person's announcement came again. Come kill Wu Qi. He's the last champion. Holding 200 million in prize money, eliminated. He's gonna split the 200 million. This news immediately blew up the garage. What, Wu Qi is the last champion? No wonder he's so strong. Damn it, we got played. The dance floor hastily explained. Don't listen to that anonymous guy's nonsense. I'm here for the first time just like you guys. But nobody believed him anymore. Faced with such a huge reward, reason instantly crumbled. Stab him, and we'll see if those 200 million are real. Get him, get him. The melee broke out again. This time everyone was seeing red. They were fighting like crazy for the legendary 200 million prize. I took advantage of the chaos and found an unlocked SUV, sneaking inside. The melee broke out again. This time everyone was seeing red. They were fighting like crazy for the legendary 200 million prize. I took advantage of the chaos and found an unlocked SUV. I quietly crawled into the trunk. In the dark space, I curled up into a ball. Through the cracks in the trunk, I listened to the screams and the system announcements outside. Time ticked by, second by second. The sounds outside became fewer and fewer. Until, at a certain moment, the parking garage fell completely silent. I cautiously peeked out through the crack. All I saw was debris everywhere. Just then, a familiar voice rang out. Li Chuan, where are you? It was Lu Mo's voice. I caught Wu Qi. Come out quickly. We can kill him together. Then we can split the 200 million. Through the crack, I saw Lu Mo tying Wu Qi up. I held my breath. I didn't dare answer him. He walked past my car. I was secretly relieved. The next second, the trunk was mistakenly opened. Blinding red light flooded in instantly. So you're here, I was looking everywhere for you. Peekaboo. The game is over. Number 66. Lu Mo's voice was laced with sickening mockery. Ice-cold fear instantly clenched my heart. Lu Mo grabbed me tightly, dragged me out of the trunk. So, you guys were in cahoots. The so-called chase. The so-called team battles, it was all a double act you put on. The purpose was to use the rules to kill with a borrowed knife. To eliminate all the players who got in the way. In the end, only the two of you would be left. To split all the prize money. You are familiar with the rules of the game. Using anonymous identities to lead players to rob and overspend. You then reap the rewards. You know the last day will inevitably be a bloodbath. So Wu Qi started building a team from the beginning. And Lu Mo deliberately stood on the opposite side of Wu Qi. To facilitate the two teams killing each other on the last day. You profit. Lu Mo had a playful smile on his face. Wu Qi, you're very clever. Thank you for these past few days. Wu Qi finally lost his patience. He roared ferociously. Let go of me, old man. Why bother jawing with him? Just off him. Luke took a cold look. He ignored the release. Are you kidding me? Sharing $1 billion between two people? It ain't as sweet as having it all to myself. Besides, you should have given me the $2 billion you racked up last round anyway. Then, with one move, he knocked him out. Luke then sneered. Forgot to tell you. That anonymous message at the end? I sent it. Player 44 eliminated, bonus announcement. Player 44 was the previous champion. Accumulated amount, 2 billion. Transferred to the hunter's account. At that moment, Luke was admiring his spoils. Right now. I blasted high-hold hairspray right in Luke's face. A big glob of sticky hairspray went right into Luke's face. Luke let out a blood-curdling scream. He covered his face and stumbled backward. He bent over in agony. I scrambled towards the driver's seat. I'd already checked when I was hiding that the trunk wasn't locked. And the driver's side door wasn't locked either. And the key was in the ignition. Lu Mo shouted. Number 66. I'm gonna carve you up. He ignored the pain. He lunged forward like an enraged lion. The dagger grazed my head. And plunged into the leather driver's seat. My fingers found the cold key. I twisted it hard. The engine roared. It came to life instantly. I put it in drive almost at the same time. My right foot stomped the gas pedal with all my might. Lu Mo hadn't expected the car to start suddenly. The impact sent his body flying. He then slid down to the ground. But he still tried to get up. I put it in reverse. And drove towards him. It wasn't long before the system announced the final judgment. Player 48 eliminated, bonus revealed. Player 48 was the last champ. Total amount, 180 million. Transferred to the hunter's account. There's one player alive right now. Congratulations, player. Player 66 survived to the end. They're the sole champion of this round of Airport Mayhem. Player 66 wins a prize of 120 million this round. Earned 200 million. Earned 180 million. A total of 500 million in prize money. I clambered out from under the driver's seat, struggling. My whole body was covered in oil and dust. No elation. Just a bone-deep weariness and the emptiness of surviving something. The crimson lights slowly faded. The alarms stopped. A flash of white light. I was back in the void of the game's beginning. The system whispered in my ear. You now have 500 million in prize money. Stay alive. But according to the rules, the champion can't quit the game. Or there'll be 500 million in debt. The white light slowly faded. I saw people standing all around me. They all had their eyes wide open. They were looking around, bewildered and unsure. System, welcome, players, to the poverty game. Initial game funds, 50 yuan. 50 yuan. Survival objective, survive in the game for 7 days. Win a 1 million prize. The winner gets a prize of 1 million.